Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Author Doc B. She's in the building. And guess what? We have a special treat for you tonight. Oh my gosh. Please click like and share. Sit back, relax, go get your ink pens, take some notes and all that stuff because you all have to meet Will Latif Little. That's what I said, Brother Will Latif Little. And I'm going to read some things about him. But first, I would like to sometime I have to go on backstage and change. And okay, here it is. I got to go public because I need everyone in the world to be able to view Will Latif Little. Um, Welcome to Bring It to the Table. I'm your host, Author Doc B, where we meet here. This is a special episode because we usually meet on Thursdays at 8 p.m. But I wanted him on so bad. I tried to get him when I was in Philly on WURD, but they had cost associated. It was really hard getting people and getting sponsors and things like that. So I stuck to the podcast and finally I was able to get him. Let me just tell you a little bit about Will. You guys all know me already. This is a safe space where you come to address social justice issues in the community, our Black community, preferably. However, there are all sorts of things going on in this world, ranging from gun violence, which Will and I are going to get into really, really deep. Hi, thank you all for joining. I see you all in the audience. I'm going to try to my best to engage you all, but I really want to focus on the questions and talking to Will because he is just to me, a walking dictionary. He's just like a walking blessing to this earth. So without further ado, I am going to read his bio from his wonderful webpage, and I'll just tell his business before he get on here. You can go to Will at little.com and then you can see anything you want to see about him. It's a wonderful picture that's up there where he says, where there's a will, there's a way. And I mean, he was sponsored by all kinds of people. This is introduction now. He was just on TED Talks. I saw it. It just went viral. And in Wilmington. And then it says, those who fail to plan to fail. And then it gives a little bio. I'm going to say a little bit. I'm not going to read all of it, but I just want you all to get to know who I am. So please click like and share who he is. Please click like and share. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I have not been this nervous on any of my podcasts. And then I got I gotta slow down, take a deep breath and everything. I just been waiting. I'm telling you, I just been watching. You know how you just watch somebody's progress and then you have them on the show and you're like blown away? That's how I am right now. Some of y'all know me. I get all animated and everything, but this is really happening. And I'm just truly grateful to Allah, to our Lord. Will Latif Little spent his youth running the streets of Philadelphia. Growing up, he fought in his environment. Says Will looked to his surroundings for leadership and advice, eventually finding what he needed in gangs and drug violence. His experience led to gunfight that took another man's life and a man just like him. With a baby on the way, Will found himself serving a long-term jail sentence. But after holding his child time, for the first time, he vowed to change his path. And I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that he did exactly that. Thank you all for joining. I really do appreciate it. Now, watch this. Will is a social entrepreneur. He's going to tell you about that. That's one of my questions. Who's inspired thousands of people as a keynote speaker, a coach, or author. Watch this. And a film subject. Huh? Yeah. If he can do it, so can you, and so can I. Let me tell you, oh my God. Listen, it says that with a goal of empowering his audience to make better decisions. And I watch him all the time. I even jump on sometimes. I got something to say too. He inspires me. And y'all know me. I think I'm the inspiring queen. but you haven't seen a life coach like the one that you all are going to meet now. So without further ado, oh my God, I could say so much about him. Hold on. Keynote speakers and topics include this: power, forgiveness, emotional intelligence. I've seen all of these. I've seen him do all this stuff live. I've seen him. Look, human systems and extreme transformation. I've seen him on the streets of Philadelphia, changing lives right there. People just falling. Let's go. I'm going. I'm surrendering right now. Look, the 7 steps, extreme transformation, and from convict to conviction. Without further ado, let me bring him from backstage. Oh my God. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Hey,
Oh
Queen.
my God. There he is. Hi, Will.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you all for joining. The audience is growing. Please click like and share. Y'all know I like those hearts. Come on now, give it up for our brother Will Latif Little, who is changing the world one human being at a time. Oh my goodness, brother. How you been?
I've been great. I've been great. I've been feeling good, feeling great, feeling alive and awake.
Wow. Your spirit is just impacting so many different people. I know. I said to myself, oh my God, I wonder how this makes him feel as a human species. Let me tell you what I did Thursday. No, Wednesday. Wednesday. So, I work in treatment. I'm a therapist. My life has changed as well. The podcast came from my book. It's the offspring, right?
Right.
And I'll try to empower everybody just like what you do, but you do it in a different way. You have this like justice, equality type of approach. Reminds me of Farrakhan a little bit
Mm.
without going opening up Quran. You see what I'm trying to say?
Right. Right.
Can you tell the audience how all of this came about? I gave him a little bit, but you got the backstory. You got all that good stuff.
Well, basically, it came about when, when I was arrested for murder, and like you mentioned earlier, you alluded to I had a son after like 8 months when I was incarcerated.
Mhm.
So for me, I didn't really have no way of getting out of the world I was living in, street life, violence, and things of that nature. I was kind of addicted to that kind of lifestyle, um, and it wouldn't change for myself. I wouldn't change for my mother or my sisters. So when my son was born, he was one of the reasons. He was the why actually, because
Mhm.
I did want a child just to leave with my mother. I wanted a son to leave for my mother so she can have a gift of me when I left this world, because I didn't think I
Feel
was
that.
gonna live past 20. I mean,
Mhm.
19 years old. So when I got arrested, actually I got rescued. I didn't get arrested. I got rescued.
Mm.
So my son was born. I was in a rough jail. I was in Holmesburg prison. It was real rough in that prison. Um, and I still had the same kind of mindset mentality I had on the streets until my son was born, and I went to go see him for the first time on a visit. And it made me just kind of, after the visit was over, it just made me really think and reflect on my life, and actually his life initially. First, like what I wanted for him that I didn't have for myself, you know.
Okay.
And one
Mhm.
of the things I didn't have was a father,
Mhm.
a role model to follow, someone to correct me or show me how to navigate to be, a man growing up in the inner cities of Philadelphia.
Mhm.
So I wanted to be a father to my son,
Mhm.
and before I can do that, I had to become a man first,
Mhm.
and just figuring it out, the how of it all,
Mm,
you
mm,
know.
mm.
And I started some deep reflecting to myself, did some deep reflecting,
Mhm.
and acknowledged myself and my truth in that moment,
Mhm.
who I was as a young kid, the tools, the gifts, the ideas, the thoughts, the dreams, that how the streets changed all of that, and the trauma that I experienced changed all of that. within my mindset. So when I was in a cell, sitting down, thinking about it, because I had the opportunity to slow the world down.
Mm.
Because when you're in the street, you're just moving fast paced, speed of life.
Yeah.
You don't have time to think.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of react, just reacting and responding to
Yeah.
things. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I had a chance to sit down, and really think about my future, the situation I was in,
Mm-hmm.
and also my son. And said to myself,
Wow.
regardless of not, I don't know what my fate is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be in jail for the rest of my life,
Mm-hmm.
or if I'm going to do a certain amount of years,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm going to get out. I didn't know.
Wow. Yeah. So thank you for that. That's amazing. That's amazing. And you definitely came home and transformed your life. And for that, I'm truly grateful. I see you're making a huge difference on the streets of Philadelphia. I know that you have gone to California. I think that behind the scenes, I'm your biggest fan. I just don't say too much stuff because I'm trying to like keep my stuff going and keep myself together over here and keep going and going and going. But to be on the same platform of you with you tonight is an honor and a privilege. It really is. I see you go back into the jails. I see you going into the schools. I saw you on TED Talk. I showed the whole entire treatment center during a psychoeducation group
Mm,
your TED Talks.
mm,
Most of them are coming home from incarceration, have very, very little hope,
right.
just lost, don't have a clue. I am a cultural relevant therapist.
Mm,
I break all the rules of therapy. Like I don't do traditional book stuff. And inside of one of your talks, you said that's not the solution.
mm.
Can you speak to that? What is the solution?
Well, I mean, the biggest solution is simple, right? Because you got to look at the biggest problem that we have, especially in our culture, the Black and Brown communities.
Mhm,
And one of the biggest problems that we have, the crisis that we're faced with, is
mhm. Okay.
identity crisis, right? So
Mm.
if you don't know who you are, you're gonna become whatever anybody name you to be.
Ooh,
That
that's
starts with
deep.
the parents. That starts with the streets,
Yeah,
the teachers.
yeah.
So and that's the thing. When you don't know who you are, then you become what people accept you as.
Wow. Someone told me earlier last year, they said it to me, someone near and dear to my heart. I can't do what you want me to do anymore. I
Mhm.
need to do what I know I need to do to become who I know I need to become for me and my family.
Right.
Somebody said that to me.
Hmm.
And that was very powerful. They took a stance and set a boundary.
Hmm.
I
Right.
thought that was brilliant.
Right.
When they did that to me, I was able to, because of the work that Allah and myself and my own personal journey, my recovery has the work I've been doing on myself. I was able to receive the information and embrace it and not kick, fight, resist, and scream because that person no longer could be at my fingertips or at my begging call.
Right.
So I agree with you on that. Let me talk to the audience. The audience is saying stuff to you, okay? They're saying this is really good, this is awesome, and I'm asking them to click like and share. Somebody says, do you speak at graduation? Somebody wants to know. They're saying that the teachers are here. Oh, it looks like that could be my daughter. Yep. She said the teachers are here. They're letting you know because you mentioned the teachers are educators. I think that they have I think that the teachers is the solution. They're part of the solution.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely part of the solution. I mean, any place where though there is the target population, which is we talking about the youth, which is our future.
Mhm.
Also, any institution that houses individuals. I say institution of learning,
Mhm.
or punishment, crime and punishment, whatever those institutions are, there
Mhm.
are opportunities there to re-educate,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, re-educate our community to give them the tools they need in order for them to navigate and best practice
Mm-hmm.
life in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like we said earlier, um, a lot of the things that we're dealing with is knowledge of self,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the lack of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of the lack of knowledge of self, a lot of times we don't know what we need in our life in order for us to be our best self, to reach our
Mm-hmm.
full potential. So bringing that awareness about self-awareness to the key of a lot of the issues that we're dealing with, a lot of problems that we face as personal or socially will be eradicated if
Mm-hmm.
individuals just knew who they were,
Mm-hmm.
and they can live in that alignment with self and why they are created,
Mm-hmm.
the purpose of them being here in this universe. So because of the lack of knowledge when it comes to that area, a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
just end, you would say, like, in the way,
Mm-hmm.
but in their own way. So we
Mm-hmm.
actually get out your own
Mm-hmm.
way. Get out your
Get
own.
out your own way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm,
Well, the way that I live in the recovery world,
mm,
they always say that you are in your own way
yeah. Mm,
of growing. You
right.
are stopping yourself. We no longer blame society, the people, the places. We no longer do that. We
Mm,
take accountability
right.
for the part we play in
Mm,
lack of knowledge of self.
right.
Quiet is kept, and I'm just going to break it down for real, for real. The Muslims been talking about this for decades, who we are as the original black man and woman. Let
Mm,
me say something. There's something on the from the audience. So funny you said identity crisis among our black and brown communities. Crazy thing is just today I gave my students an autobiography project called Who Am I? As an end of the year project. It's a part of a lesson I developed all around identity. Wow.
mm, great.
Ooh, y'all getting it in. Thanks for, excuse, ooh, 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 excuse me. Thanks for, thanks for confirming I'm going in the right direction in the city of Philadelphia because she works at Gratz.
Okay. Yes, I came to Gratz. Actually last week to try to speak to the principal there to present a assembly program for the
Mm-hmm.
youth, especially going into the summertime
Mm-hmm.
right now, leaving school with conflict resolution piece that is
Okay.
definitely needed for
Mm-hmm.
young people to understand their feelings and their emotions and how to channel those things in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
so
I could give you that connection. I'll send you her information.
okay,
I believe she's the dean of students.
okay. She's the same one that said, "Do I speak at graduations?"
Yes,
Okay, okay, cool.
yes, she's the same one. Yep, yep. I know there's a need. Let's connect. That's
Okay,
what she's saying to you. Well, there it is, folks. You heard it right here on Bring It to the Table. We have to be able to identify who we really are, and so that we can contribute to the solution, be a part of the solution and not the problem. What are your thoughts about this gun violence stuff? You talked about going to jail for murder,
mm,
and it really wasn't you.
mm,
Like, that's crazy. And then you talked about, oh, I know what I wanted to say, Latif. You were with the brother of the person that you went to jail for murder.
mm.
At some point, he was looking for you, and now you and him linked up. I saw y'all on the same stage.
Right, right,
I said, what kind of mess is that?
hmm,
Where they do that at? Not in Philly.
right, right.
Well, you got to tell the audience how that makes you feel, what's going on with that situation. Please do tell.
Yeah, well, it was a powerful moment at the time when it did happen. Actually, I was home for about, I think, 17 years by that time, working in the barbershop, just doing my due diligence. Normally, what I'm doing, living normal. And this guy, he was out in the street looking. Well, he knew I worked there because actually, there's so many different scenarios in this story of mine, in this case, because we're kind of connected
Mm-hmm.
a lot to me and defendant. I mean, me and the victim's brother.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually committed the crime. I did commit the murder in 19.
Okay.
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 So when I did come home, I mean, I've been hearing threats from him for years. If I was in prison, I heard threats from him and everything else. I
Mm-hmm.
never knew what he looked like either, but I got a chance to meet the guy's father in jail,
Wow.
who was also a member of the Black Mafia, one of the hitmen for the Black Mafia, actually. So we had a conversation in jail
Mm-hmm.
about this, not really about the situation, but we had a chance to meet eye to eye and kind of discuss somewhere around it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was released after 10 years, I came home to the street to give back to the community. I landed in a barbershop, and actually, the barbershop is owned by the victim's cousin,
Wow.
right? So he didn't have no gripes or nothing like that against me about the situation. So eventually, he was coming. The brother was coming around the shop, but I didn't know who he was the whole time,
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't focused on who he was. I know he was out there, but I wasn't focused on that. My mind was focused on more on me moving forward in life
Mm-hmm.
and trying to be there for my sons. Because at the time I had two sons, then I came home and had another son. So trying to move forward with my sons, stay on a positive note, stay focused, and do the things I need to do for the community, be an asset, not a liability.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working there, and then eventually he'd come around, he'd sneak around, he'd be hiding in the cars. This is things that told me afterwards, after we sat down and talked.
I saw that in the movie.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw it.
the documentary, yeah.
Yeah,
So
the documentary.
the documentary that Fox News did on it kind of re assessed,
Relived. You
yeah,
relived that
yeah,
moment.
yeah, replayed everything out for everything was going on. So they can watch that in the Fox News documentary. We got an Emmy Award for that too,
I
2000.
saw all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we did come in the barbershop that day, I was in there. I don't normally come in the barbershop early either. I come in the barbershop kind of late, like 11 o'clock. I came in early that morning, 8 o'clock for some reason. But he walked in, and he asked to talk to me. But I thought he was a customer or something, or the father of a customer.
Mm-hmm.
So when I turned around to step to him, then the first thing he said, "I forgive you." I kind of knew who he was then, like looking eye to eye. I knew who exactly who he was, and I just replied, like, "Thank you. I mean, I appreciate that."
Mm-hmm.
But I sensed that he had a lot more on his shoulders, and on his mind that he wanted to talk about. But it's only me and him in the barbershop. So I took him in the back of the barbershop. Let's go back in. Let's sit down and talk before anybody come in and interrupt me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we had a conversation, and it's like a lot of weight came off his shoulders, just just us talking because I guess they didn't know what kind of guy I was. They heard rumors about me, um, and just didn't know how I was going to take it or how I would respond
Yeah.
to that approach.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a chance to talk and see the better good of it, and we both win in this situation. Like it's a lose-lose situation. We're around it. If you do something to me, somebody gonna do something to you, or vice versa, right? So it's a lose-lose situation, and we got a chance to change the narrative. About just coming clean and sharing
Yeah.
that we've grown men and we can communicate and conversate and talk things through. I mean, even if it costs somebody's life, I mean, it's on that tip. So we got a chance to do that. Then we just want to take it to the stage, take it to the schools, and share with younger people on how to
Wow.
forgive. I mean, how to let go,
Yeah.
and the process of that, how hard it is for some people too as well. We're not dismissing how hard it was because it was still hard for him. It's still
Mm-hmm.
hard for him to be around sometimes. And I had to understand that. I had to be respectful of that. And some
Was it
days
hard for you though? Was it hard for you?
it wasn't hard for me at all.
Okay.
I mean,
Why?
because um, I, I don't know. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no grudges like that. I mean, I knew what I'd done, but I didn't have no fears either.
Okay.
I didn't have no fears. I wasn't fearful when I was on the street doing a mess. So why would I be
Mhm.
fearful now? That was my mindset.
Okay.
Same when I went to jail. I won't be afraid of jail because I wasn't afraid when I was on the street.
Okay.
So so I didn't have no fear with it coming on, but I just kind of understood. I kind of more empathize with him.
Okay.
I mean, because I put myself in his shoes the same way I put myself in his father's shoes, like his
Mm-hmm.
father, and just
Mm-hmm.
trying to empathize with that, understand, try to be understanding and be more aware of the
Sure.
impact that I've done to somebody in their life.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go out and we're gonna talk to the youth and the kids, and it got to a point where as though sometimes you didn't even realize that even happened between us. You know?
Yeah. I saw that
Yeah,
in the documentary.
yeah,
He cried on the documentary.
right,
He
right,
was like, You can hear it in his voice. He got choked up. It was real. It was
Yeah.
so transparent. I just wanted to jump through the TV. I was like, wow, look at this guy. I think that that is the pillar of healing for our community.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
But
the
it's definitely
pillar.
definitely understanding the trauma and being able to address it and
Mhm.
not cope with it, but address
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
And
And
really
a lot of people don't know how to address it. And that's what I see you doing.
right.
You're It's like you're a walking therapist. You call yourself a life coach, but I watch a lot of your skills and lot of things that you do, the way you interact with the PD family. And I'm like, this guy is amazing. You're like a walking therapist on foot. Like you're just amazing. You have a lot of clinical techniques that you're using that you don't even know that you're using.
Mhm.
I'm like, that's CBT.
Yeah, it's all life.
Look at him.
It's all life. Everything. See, you understand? Technology is the study of life.
Yes, it is.
You know,
Yeah.
because Allah is I mean, the Creator is the best of knowledge, wisdom,
Mhm,
strategy,
mhm,
creativity. He's the best of all. So we
mhm.
in a perfect world that is designed by the Creator, and all you do is study the science of it.
Yes.
You
2
know.
years ago, I tried to get you. I was in Pennsylvania when I lived there. I live in Atlanta now, so
Okay.
I'm expanding my brand as well.
Well,
And I tried to get you. I was with WURD. Next thing you know, I look around. You're on WURD. I'm like, what is going
mm,
on?
mm,
I couldn't get you back then. It was so hard for me trying to make that adjustment. But Allah's the best of planners. And now this is the Qadr, and I have you now. And I really thought it was going to be a struggle with getting you on today. So I'm just truly, truly grateful for you taking the time out to come and talk to the audience in regards to what you are doing now in your life. I'm going to go on to my next question. And my next question is that tell us about the book, because that book, people is all over your social medias. I'm talking about all of them, all
right.
your platforms.
Mhm.
Yes, there it is. It's the F.
Yeah, take your life the fuck back. Well, that's just finding your core self, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to change the name because a lot of schools are embracing the book,
Uh-huh,
for the students and for the teachers. So um, the ones who embrace it don't have no problem with the acronym because they know it's an
yeah.
acronym.
Uh-huh.
But then you have some people who, they're skeptic about the name.
And your
So
creativity, did you do that in your creativity? You came up with that?
yeah, definitely. I definitely like playing on words. My first book is the same way. It's ICY,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called Inner City Youth, but also
Okay.
means icy. And it's talking about the jury and things of that nature that we put in the streets
Ah.
for. Then it's also talking about ICY,
Mm-hmm.
the issues that
Ah,
we
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
ICY,
Did
the issues
you,
that we're dealing with in our life, and I'm breaking it down in a book.
yeah, did you know you was a writer? Did you know
Well,
you
I knew I
was
was a
a
graffiti
writer?
writer.
Mhm.
So no, I didn't really know that I can articulate myself in a way because I'm an introvert by nature. So I didn't do a lot of talking as a kid.
No way. I'm not buying that.
Yeah,
Are you?
yeah, definitely. I didn't start talking to probably I was in 25, 23, 24, 25. I started
Wow.
really being social. And then when I got into the barbershop, I had to become more social,
Oh yeah.
because I'm dealing with the population, public. But
Mhm.
it kind of groomed me for being the person I am today.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you definitely have an old soul spirit, kind of
Mm,
like you was here before your time or something like that. And that could come from the barbershop setting, because the guys be busting it up in the barbershop worse than the girls.
yeah.
I know what goes on in them barbershops, okay?
It's the mecca of information. So,
Right, it really is.
yeah.
So, can you tell the audience what's next for you? You've come home, you've been on stages that most people will probably never get a chance to go on. You've been on TV, you're in films and getting awards everywhere. Like, what could possibly, and you're an author, be next for you? Are you going to get your own podcast? Like, I'm thinking he needs a podcast, because this is modern times. This is
Right.
what's happening. I see all your followers. I saw your followers go from 10 to 200 and something in like weeks, just going, 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 going. What's next for Will Latif Little?
Well, I mean, I'm just still trying to get out in the world and just continue to speak and pour into people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe write more books too, as well down the line,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with the core issues in life. Travel the world, speaking around the world.
Yes. Yes.
More another film we have coming, another film we have in the making. Right now, we've been working on for the last 7 years. But,
Mm-hmm.
some movies like that from Hollywood takes a while, like 10 years sometimes. They put on the shelf. So we still work on that part. That's my producer that actually just called me when I was on live with you. So
Okay.
I hope you got some good news for me. Right.
I hope he has some good
But
news.
yeah, that's about it. And just trying to really change the trajectory of the city of Philadelphia. I mean, and getting these leadership, so-called leadership here to really
Mhm.
understand the importance of implementing emotional intelligence in our community
Yeah.
because we're an emotional city.
I think you're doing an amazing job. I think that you are impacting the city. To city officials
Mm.
are noticing you, and I've seen you in the ring with Movita Johnson Harrell. That's my girl there. I'm like, wow, look at them, they doing it. Almost make me feel bad for having to leave Philly, but I did what I need to do to take my career to the next level. I want to do some of those things too. Maybe we can do a book signing together. I'm thinking, how can I partner with them? What can I do? Yeah, my book's about to go on another tour called Soar Like an Eagle Tour. I have another question. You
Mhm.
ready?
Yes.
You're so humble. You're just so humble. Oh my goodness. Um, did you, when you came home to get into the community, did you have to do like a halfway house, or did you have like a coach to coach you into this avenue that you're in, paid speaking, books, and all this stuff? Or did you just like do all your research when you were away and make your plan? Because you said a man with a plan, without a plan, is planning to fail.
Right. Yeah. So some of those tools I've now my personal development journey while I was in prison, like some of the tools that stuck with me, like some of those words, those phrases I heard like one time from a person, and it stuck with me in my head. So it planted the seed, and I allowed the seed to grow. So even when I came home, being the first time on parole, 10 years up parole, and knowing recidivism was at a higher rate, 70%,
Mhm,
people going back to jail within 3 years.
mhm,
So my mindset was to really just focus on staying true to myself,
mhm,
coming back into that environment around my old friends again too,
mhm,
and focus on progress over pride.
mhm.
So I had to
Progress over pride.
I just
Wow.
stayed in the halfway house for like 7 months, but they gave me a
Mhm,
chance to get myself together, and really get a chance to feel the environment because it's a culture shock once you've been away for 10 years. Culture shock.
mhm,
Now I went in a boy, came out a man. I came out a man and a father. So there's a lot of things I had to really get adjusted to. Had to be open to learn,
mhm,
willing to change. And that's kind of I wanted to get into the community. Some of the things I plan to do coming
mhm.
home is giving back to the community. Not knowing I was going to be a community activist, not knowing I was going to be a writer, not knowing
Wow.
I would be a speaker that travel the country, not knowing none of these things, but it aligned myself with who I truly supposed to be. So
Yeah.
falling into alignment and fall into your purpose. And when you live
Mhm,
on purpose, you start, moving that way.
mhm.
So I kind of taught myself a lot of these things. I taught myself grant proposals, writing, speaking.
You
Uh,
taught yourself grant proposals?
yeah, I
Wow.
taught myself everything I learned. I learned from YouTube University. I learned from Google University. So
Yeah, right.
and just being in the right rooms with certain people and just learning from the people, sponging from the people that I'm
Mhm,
around. Even when I
mhm.
traveled a lot speaking, I ran to a whole lot of prolific speakers, and I met Robert Kiyosaki. We had a good relationship with him. Billionaire Jeff Hoffman, who invented the kiosk at the airports,
Yeah.
Aurthor.com. So I met a wealth of people, doctors from Canada, scientists, heart scientists, and stuff like that. So I kind of sponged off all.
Wow.
They really poured into me. I mean, sent me to different classes
Mhm,
for facilitating major
mhm,
companies and stuff like that programs.
mhm,
So
mhm.
Yeah, so I took advantage of all those opportunities and those elbows I rubbed with and people I should have stayed with, and just took it all and but brought it back to my hood, brought it back to Philly.
Like we supposed to.
Right, exactly.
Like we supposed to. I see you on every day now. You're making, oh, you got 535 views in like 24 hours on this one post about people living in their past.
Mm,
Now, I know as a clinical therapist,
right,
when you do that, it has a lot to do with the trauma and things of that nature. But you blew that thing up. You go on there every day, and I mean, all the time. You're loyal to the people. You have sayings. Here's another one that I like. What people negatively think about you is none of your
business.
business.
Exactly.
Ooh, you cooking with Crisco with that one. What do you mean by that? Speak to the people.
Well, exactly. Like I said, we don't know who we are. We look at the other people to just tell us who we are. You
Mm-mm.
know, so a lot of times we believe the lie,
Mm-hmm.
then we tell ourselves that same lie all over again. Right. So what people think about you is really none of your business. Your business is you. It's you versus you.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you think about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, especially something negative. Somebody said that you can't do this. Like even what Jay-Z said, his uncle said, you can't do this. You can't sell a million records. He said, I sell a million records a million times.
Right.
So if he would have believed that, right,
Mm-hmm.
and not really have that surety in himself and trust in himself and belief in himself, then he would never accomplish that goal.
Mm-hmm.
But we so busy listening to everybody else and paying attention to their judgments that
Mm-hmm.
we distract ourselves from the real important person we're supposed to listen to. That's the inner voice.
That inner. Oh my
So
gosh.
people's opinion of you is really none of your business. Don't give it no
Mm-hmm.
energy
Mm-hmm.
because they're gonna think all
Absolutely.
kinds of things. They're gonna say all kinds of things. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they spoke about everybody. So if you ain't paying attention to that, your energy can go to the right places they need to go,
Yeah.
right? Opposed to spreading yourself too thin and just paying attention to everything.
And
Everything
in
is begging for your attention.
yeah, and in the clinical world, we teach them to channel that energy.
Yeah. Hmm.
We teach them that. You said teachers and principals, let's teach our students some valuable tools. I love that one. I'm telling you, I'm all over your page all the time. Personal development, PD family. Get out of survival mode. Ooh, start living.
Hmm.
Put your survival shoes up. We done did that.
Right.
Okay? We done did that. Our people done did that. That's why we're here. Living is what we're going for, right? You said stop doing what? Normalizing depression. Oh, I got something to share with you about that. I always say when the patient come in, they always say stuff like, I'm just depressed. I'm depressed. I'm depressed.
Hmm.
Really? Well, what is depression? What do you mean? Tell
Hmm.
me about your depression. As a therapist,
Right.
they start saying stuff like, I'm sad, I'm irritable, you know. Okay, but sad is a human emotion,
Right.
and you're irritable because something's underneath. People don't know, and they misuse the word depression all the time. To be clinically diagnosed with depression, you'll need several episodes to take place in a row. You'll need several symptoms to be happening in a row. It's not something that sporadically happens like sadness, or
Right.
I'm just irritable today. I don't feel like doing nothing tomorrow, or whatever. It has to be a pattern. And so to be stuck in that sadness or that irritable spot and not know how to get out of it, that's what you were talking about earlier about you don't know yourself.
Hmm.
And I say coping skills, you say something else. I heard you say that the other day. I said, oh wow, that's interesting. He said something else that you was talking about expectations. He was
Hmm.
like, well, what are you expecting? If you sad, you sad. You got to embrace your sadness.
Yeah, I said lower your expectations and raise your
Yeah,
acceptance.
that's what you said.
Yeah.
Come on. Talk to the people about that.
Well, I mean, expectations is a seed of self-inflicting pain.
Mm,
So a lot of things we expect in life because they don't show up for us, it affects our happiness. and
Mm-hmm.
it affects our happiness, then you go into a state of sadness and anger or frustration. It takes through all the emotions because you're expecting certain things to happen that may never happen,
Yes.
may never
We
happen.
say, we
And we
say,
deal with fear too.
ooh, don't start with the fear. Now, we could do a whole podcast on fear by itself.
Mm-hmm.
By itself. We say that expectations will rob you of the benefit
Mm-hmm.
of whatever it is you're trying to accomplish.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's just going, you expectations should be placed on what you're capable. You can't place expectations on the other person.
Right.
It's never going to work out that way. That's good. Boy, you cooking with Crisco. Boy, y'all heard what he said. I hope y'all sitting up there taking up y'all notes and stuff. Thank you all for joining. Hi, Michael. Thank you for joining. Hi, Troja. Thank you for joining. Hi, Kendra. We really do appreciate you all for coming. We thank you so much for all your support. Hi, Carolyn. I see you. Thank you for joining. Hi, Nikira. Hello, everybody. I really do appreciate all y'all support. We really do. Listen, we cooking with Crisco tonight. We have the one and only Will Latif Little, just as humble as he want to be. I'm telling you, he's humble. I love you too, Michael. Thank you so much for joining and all your support for everything, even the other kind of support. I appreciate all of that. So you're having another movie. What is the movie about?
The movie is a South Philly story. It's the story of me and brother Clarence.
Brother
Um,
Clarence.
yeah,
Okay.
the whole event and how everything took place and how it happened, stuff like that, and
Mhm.
then the ending result of that movie. So
Okay.
um, that's what it's all about.
Okay,
So,
I got you. I got you. I got you. Hi, Bernadette. Bernadette saying, hi, sweetie. Hi, everybody. Thank you all for joining. We really do appreciate all of you. If you all have any questions, you can just drop them in the chat and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Please click like and share. We got a few more minutes with Will Latif Little. He's a busy man. Please check out his Instagram. Tell the people how they can find you. Tell them how they can get your books because he got books with an S. All
mhm.
right. And you can book him. He is for hire. I'm going to put your website in the chat. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And then you go ahead and tell them where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on Instagram, Latif Latif underscore Muhsin, Latif Muhsin, life coach, and you'll see a picture of my book up there. Take your life back. And you could DM me from there if you want to book me. You could DM from there. If you book me from my website, I might get the email late because it's an old email. But it's better to reach me on Instagram because I'm there all the time. If you have an Instagram,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you don't, if you
You
don't,
always on Instagram.
yeah, you can DM me. You can email me by willatiflittle@gmail.com. I get that one quick too as well. willatiflittle@gmail.com.
Mhm.
And
And and I want you all to support his TED Talks. Please go watch the TED Talk. Now, how long ago did you do that TED Talks?
I did that 2000, I think, end of 2018.
Well, how come we're just seeing it like this?
I don't know. It's been out there for a while.
I don't know. To me, it just I don't know how it just. I'm upset about that.
Mm.
Life coach Will Latif Little. Let me tell you, you gave it up today. You were transparent. I saw the vulnerability. We did all that stuff with us. Thank you very much for coming on. Mentor, activist, poet, author, motivational speaker. This is my favorite. Transformational expert. My brother, Will Latif Little. Let me tell you, he set the table straight today. He brought the house down, brought it to the table. What did he do? He said, get your mind right.
Mhm.
Learn who you are. Stop allowing people to tell you who you are and learn who you are. Another thing Brother Will said, because I took real good notes. He said, where there's a will, there's a way. And if you ain't got a plan, you're planning to fail. You're going to keep doing the same things that you've been doing. The man done told you on here today, he done had 10 years, came home, made amends to society, and is living beyond his dreams. You heard what he said. Okay. Another thing he said was, oh, you gotta get your transformation. Yeah. You don't be scared to change. You can't. Don't be scared to change. Michael in the audience, he like, yeah, that part right there. They like that part. They typing and stuff. Y'all gotta be scared. You got all this courage to do all this other stuff, but you ain't got courage to challenge yourself to do the right things for the right reasons, even when no one is looking. Please reach out to Brother Will Latif Little. Do you mind if I tag you on Instagram? I'm gonna drop this into your Instagram.
Okay.
This
Great.
whole thing, and then stay backstage for 1 minute while we close up, so that I could give you the information to my daughter that was in there.
Okay.
Somebody said he gave me some good info. They still typing in the chat. That's right, y'all. Keep chatting, keep talking and everything. Let me just tell you what is about to happen on Bring It to the Table, in our up and coming line that is going on for the month of May. You don't want to miss it. Please stay tuned. Let me tell you, on this Thursday, May the 4th at 8 p.m. Oh my God, Kelly Rowland. Yep, I done moved to Atlanta and hooked up with some people, okay? Kelly Rowland's father is going to be on here. And guess what, Will? He's going to be talking about some of that stuff. We're going to piggyback right off, but that's why I had you kick it off for the month. And he's going to be piggybacking off of what you said about knowing yourself and stuff. Because
Right.
there's a backstory, and he's going to tell it all, how he finally had the opportunity to get back into his daughter Kelly Rowland's life after her mom passed away. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be good. Show's going to be Cooking with Crisco. Listen to this. On Thursday, May 25th, 2023, 8 p.m., we got Motown's. Oh, yeah. Your girl done stepped the game up now. Well, let me tell you, I'm happy. I'm excited about this, right? Motown's Wale Ali. Now,
Okay.
he's the last one that sang with Aretha Franklin, did all her music and stuff like that. He done been all around the world. He'll tell his story, but you don't want to miss him. He's an artist. Let me tell you, he's got this big little band thing going on now. Yeah. Luther Vandross, all that stuff he done did. He'll tell you. Now, listen to this. Mother's Day weekend. We got this nice special coming. Thursday, 5/11, 8 p.m. You don't want to miss Sister Zaina Beloved, right? She talks about conscious music. See, because people think because we Muslim, we don't dance, we don't have fun, we don't party. We do all that, we have fun. It's just in the conscious mindset that we do things, okay, without hurting others, okay? Watch this. 5/18, 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it. This is Thursday. We have Karima Bilal. She's coming on. Guess what Karima Bilal does? She's an instructor and health healing practitioner. We got our people lined up for the month of May. So there it is, folks. You heard it from your girl, Felicia. Listen, Author Doc B was in the building tonight with her boy, Will Little. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Thank you, Will. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Any final remarks for the audience? Let them have it. Any final remarks?
I don't know right now. Just stand in your truth. That's it. I would say stand in your truth. That's the best place to be. Stand in your truth.
That's right. Stand in your truth. We got to get together and do something together. I got to do something with you. And it's got to be big out here in Atlanta. I'm going to see if we can make it happen. That's what we have to. You know. You already know.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much, brother. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for coming. Please go back, look at it, click like, share, comment, tell your people, don't miss this Thursday coming up. Kelly Rowland's dad's going to be here. Kelly's calling in. She's going to call in. Shh, don't tell nobody. Peace.